When Star Wars Jedi Survivor ended, it didn't just close one chapter, it opened up a galaxy of possibilities. Cal Kestis is older, wiser, and more battle-scarred than ever before. He's seen betrayal, loss, and the cost of standing against the Empire, but most importantly, he's not the same reckless Padawan we met years ago. So what comes next for Cal Kestis? What could the third game, the next chapter in this epic Jedi saga, actually look like? Let's dive deep into where the story could go, what the themes might explore, and how the galaxy could change forever in the next Star Wars Jedi game. At the end of Survivor, Cal and his crew had been through hell. They lost friends. They uncovered ancient secrets from the High Republic, and Cal faced one of the most painful realities of the Star Wars universe, that sometimes, even doing the right thing comes at a devastating cost. The last game left him in a complicated place, a fugitive Jedi with a growing family, a child to protect, and a war that never truly ends. He's seen what obsession and vengeance can do to a Jedi. He's walked dangerously close to the dark side, and he's learned that survival isn't always about winning, it's about enduring. So what does that mean for the next story? If Jedi Fallen Order was about rediscovery, finding hope again, and Jedi Survivor was about perseverance, learning to live in a broken galaxy, then the next game could be about legacy. It could be about what Cal leaves behind. Let's start with Cal himself. Throughout both games, we've seen glimpses of the dark side slowly creeping into his life. The rage when he fights, the fury in his attacks, the flashes of hatred he feels toward the Empire, all of it hints that he's not immune to temptation. In Survivor, we saw just how much pain and loss pushed him toward that edge. So the next game might explore the ultimate test, what happens when the line between justice and vengeance completely fades. Imagine a Cal Kestis who's fighting not just stormtroopers, but his own inner darkness. Someone who's no longer trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, but protect what's left of his family, even if that means doing things a true Jedi never should. That kind of story could lead to one of two paths. Either Cal falls deeper into the dark side, becoming something the Empire never expected, a rogue, unpredictable force. Or he becomes the Jedi the galaxy needs, even if it means sacrificing everything. Either way, the moral conflict would be the emotional heart of the next game. But Cal's story doesn't exist in isolation. He still has Merrin, Grease, and the child left in their care, a child who may grow up Force-sensitive. That child could easily become a symbol of hope or danger. If the next game takes place several years later, that kid might be old enough to train, setting up one of the most powerful emotional threads the series has ever had. Cal, a man who lost his own master to the Empire, now becomes a mentor himself. And in that role, he'll have to face the same question that haunted Jedi for generations. Is it even possible to raise and protect someone in a galaxy that destroys everything you love? That's where the game could really dig into the emotional complexity of legacy. Because for Cal, being a Jedi was never just about lightsabers or the Force, it's about keeping hope alive when everything else burns. And raising a student, or even protecting a child with that kind of potential, would put that belief to the ultimate test. Now let's talk about the galaxy itself. When Survivor ended, the Empire was still rising. The timeline is inching closer to the events of A New Hope, meaning rebellion is spreading, but so is fear. This could put Cal and his crew right in the middle of the growing resistance, not as official rebels, but as ghosts operating on the edge of that movement. They might not want to join the rebellion directly, but they could cross paths with its founders, people like Mon Mothma or Saw Gerrera. Saw's ruthless tactics already clashed with Cal's morals in Survivor, and that conflict could grow stronger. Cal might have to decide whether survival means joining the fight or staying hidden to protect those he loves. And with the Empire tightening its grip, the Inquisitors might not be the only ones after him anymore. We could finally see the Emperor's direct influence, perhaps even Darth Vader himself hunting Cal once again. A third confrontation between Cal and Vader would be the perfect way to tie his story back to the larger Star Wars saga, not just as a survivor of Order 66, but as one of the few Jedi who dared to fight the Sith and live to tell the tale. Then there's the mystery of Tanalorr, the lost world from Survivor. In the next game, Tanalorr could become the new hub for the story, a secret refuge for Force users, outcasts, and survivors hiding from the Empire. But even a sanctuary can become a battleground. If word of Tanalorr spreads, it could draw attention from dark forces, bounty hunters, inquisitors, or even remnants of the High Republic who aren't as benevolent as they seem. There's also the possibility that something ancient still sleeps within that world, Survivor hinted at remnants of High Republic technology and secrets buried deep within the Force. What if Cal uncovers something that could change the entire balance of power, not just for the Jedi, but for the entire galaxy? Something so dangerous that even the Empire fears it. That kind of discovery could push Cal to his breaking point, forcing him to decide whether to use that power, destroy it, or trust someone else with it. There's also Merrin. Her connection to dark magic and her growing bond with Cal could be another major thread. The next game could explore the merging of her Night Sister magic and Cal's connection to the Force, creating a new kind of power, one that blends light, dark, and ancient tradition. But with that power comes danger. The two of them might attract attention from both Jedi remnants and Sith followers. The old war between light and dark could be reignited in a way the galaxy hasn't seen in decades, not through armies, but through two people whose bond defies the rules of both orders. Their relationship could be tested by the very forces they're trying to protect each other from. And if tragedy strikes again, if one of them is lost, it could be the final push that determines Cal's fate once and for all. Ultimately, the next Jedi game will probably close out Cal's story, completing his arc from frightened Padawan to hardened survivor to legend. But whether he ends that journey as a hero, a mentor, or something darker remains to be seen. Maybe he'll fall protecting his family. Maybe he'll vanish into the shadows of the Outer Rim, becoming another myth of the Force. Or maybe, in true Star Wars fashion, he'll pass on everything he's learned to the next generation. Whatever happens, one thing feels certain. Cal Kestis' story isn't over. It's evolving, growing into something more profound than just survival. It's about what happens when a Jedi stops running and starts deciding what kind of future he's willing to fight for. Because in a galaxy consumed by darkness, even one light, one scarred, imperfect light, can still change everything. If you enjoyed this deep dive into where the next Cal Kestis game could go, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more story breakdowns, lore predictions, and explorations into the Star Wars universe.